So kama hii theory ya Jesus. Kama hujaona Jesus, uta-approve aje?
Ndio nakushow without believing my life has changed so much.
Yo si uongo.
Bila mimi kuji-involve in that thinking so much. Life yangu has changed so much.
Sasa ndo maana
nianza kujistress kila siku tu ati. Najistress na huyu Yesu alikufa kwa nini? Sasa
anointing.
Caleb, get anointed bana. Nitakuombea. Uko na jani.
Nijao mbali.
Greetings viewers, listeners. It's Taras Lawi here again. Welcome to the 10th episode of the Traders Show. I'm here with my colleagues Ken and Caleb. And today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic, trading lessons applicable in real life. So I believe for everyone who is trading, you've been able to gather some lessons here and there that has reflected in your real life, generally as a person, as a business, as a family. So trading, I believe, has some very important lessons that allows us to better ourselves apart from making money in markets. So maybe you become you become more conscious of yourself. So we'll talk about more of those during the 1.5 hours or 2 hour show. So I want to hear about how us as a team, we've been able to shape our lives from trading lessons, and we'll be glad to share them with you, and I hope you learn a thing or two from them. And also we will be looking forward to meeting you guys, and also learning also from how trading has shaped your life. Okay, Caleb, Ken.
Hello traders, hope you're having a wonderful time. Hope you had a beautiful week. This is the second week of July. First, I'll start off by giving you a market update. I think Bitcoin is going to 20,000. That's my thought. But anyway, you don't make decisions based on my thoughts. Ripple trading at 59.99 shillings or $0.59. Ethereum back below 2,000. Trading at 1894. Litecoin 125. EOS 3.67. Dogecoin 19. Cardano 1.21. DOT, which is a brother to Ethereum, trading at 13.3. ICP 36. XLM or Stellar back to 0.22. Dash trading at 118.32. In the other assets, you can look at commodities. Oil made new highs some few days ago, trading as high as $75.7 a barrel. Gold still trading at the 1800 level, currently trading at 1811, up about 0.2%. GBP AUD trading at 1.8578, up about 0.2% also. GBP USD 1.3839. The dollar coming lower again. We're down almost 0.07, trading at 92.71. Dow Jones, we've tapped 35,000 yesterday, then we came back lower. Nasdaq, 100 of the best tech companies in America, just made new highs, trading as high as 15,000 in yesterday's New York session. The VIX, we're trading at 17.20, so the markets are not really quiet, but not as volatile, because a VIX of 12 is really quiet. A VIX of 17 is some type of way quiet, but not really quiet. So there's some movement in the market. You can make some money here and there. So I think that's the market update. Personally, I'm having a wonderful week. This was my birthday week, by the way. So I'm a happy man. And
you're a happy man.
Yeah, I'm a happy man. I'm getting older.
Old man.
Anyway, so back to the topic for today. We're going to talk about trading as a way of life, real life lessons, real trading lessons applicable in life. So there are many things which trading has taught me, and I think they're applicable for any individual doing whatever they're doing. And I think we can learn from people in different fields. The man who said it well was Charlie Munger. So Charlie Munger emphasizes the value of having a multidisciplinary approach of looking at things, because what we want to avoid is the man with a hammer bias, whereby you think that just because you have a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So instead of viewing things in that way, we can try to learn from as many fields as possible, and we can get to view things in different lights from different backgrounds. So I think the objective of today's podcast is for us to share how we view life from a trading perspective and some of the things that trading has taught us. So I think I'll pass it on to Caleb.
What up, everyone? Welcome to another week here at our podcast. As you can see, if you're watching the YouTube video, I'm clothed in wisdom today, so I hope I can give you some wisdom that I've learned from trading. Apart from that, we had a wonderful weekend. This week was Ken's birthday. If you're watching this, Ken's birthday was on the 12th of July, so we had a little getaway, which was quite fun. We came back safe and sound, so in one piece, nothing bad happened. But here we are. The trades continue, markets continue today. I think we've learned quite a lot, and this is what we normally teach people when they come to Financial Hub for our courses and our classes. That's what we teach them, what we've learned so far, and how it can help you as well. Because we didn't have a mentor starting out, so we really struggle not knowing what to do. Most of the things we're doing, we make mistakes which we could have avoided long time. But anyway, we're here. We are the Jesus. The sacrifice.
Oh.
Sacrifice so that you people may have it easier in the market. But yeah, so that's it. So today's the day. Ken, you said we are saying what we've learned from trading. Yeah. I can start off.
Yep.
Yeah.
So apart from that, wait, before I start, the markets have been fine this week. I've taken one trade, so I'm in Aussie dollar long, looking for some dollar weakness to come in. So yeah, that's the only position I have. Risk manager, I have 1% risk.
One.
Yeah.
Why not 0.5?
One. I take very few trades.
Oh, yeah, makes
I
sense.
take very few trades, so one was quite fine for me. With a good risk reward of about 1:5. So not so
5%,
bad.
yeah.
Yeah, if it goes well. If more opportunities come in along the way, good. But yeah, so I only have that trade running for this week. So as we're saying, so I can start off one of the lessons I've learned that I've brought to real life. I was going to say it, I've forgotten again. It was in my head. That was about to start. I was going to say it, that name.
Hey, that 1% trade. Are you sure you're comfortable?
I'm totally fine. Why did I start saying that? Okay, Ras, you start. I'll come next. Mepotea.
Okay, since Caleb is lost.
I'm not.
There are many lessons, bro.
I
And
know.
then the second one.
There's that main one. If I don't say it, it doesn't. Sitaki muiseme mbele yangu. Anyway.
Okay, so for me, I think, first of all, trading has taught me the value of independent thinking and being an independent person. For me, I think from my trading system, I'm a contrarian. So most times I'm going like against the trend, against the masses in the market. So I think that's who I am. And in life, I think I tend to be a contrarian also. Like, you'll have to take so much time to convince me to do something. So, and that comes from the value of having an independent mind. Like, I can make decisions without having to consult you. Okay, maybe I'll need it, but for many decisions, I'll have to like majorly think independently.
At the end of the day,
at the end of the
it's
day,
up to you.
Yeah, it's up to me to make that
Decision.
Exactly. So, and that has come from markets. When I started trading, I started by buying a signal. Can you remember we subscribed to those guys?
The UK guys.
Yes, I think it was UK, US guys. And that was the greatest and most foolish thing I think I've done in trading. Like,
That's
that was
when you
not me.
regret
Exactly.
most.
Yeah, that was not me. So, the fact that it didn't work out so easily. Like, by the first week tulikuwa tunajua this shit is not working. So it boiled down to me realizing that trading is very, very individualistic. You'll need to have some solitude time by yourself to develop your own trading philosophies, to develop your own trading personality, your own trading system, strategy, everything. A lot of times it will take your own personal effort. No one else will help you. You see, you can easily guide someone, but I believe you can't make someone a successful trader. So that boils down to that. Trading, I can't help Ken, I can't help you, you can't help me be a successful trader. You can just guide me on some, you can give me some nuggets that I'll have to go and apply them myself.
Work on them.
Yeah, myself. So if I don't do that, at the end of it all, even if I stay with you, Caleb, I wake up with you and sleep with you, watching markets with you. If I don't learn myself how to handle myself, I won't be a successful trader. And you can be a successful trader and I won't. And I'm doing everything that you're doing. Even if it's eating, I'll eat the same meals you're eating. Even I'll join gymming. You see, so at the end of it all, it boils down to realizing that trading is a very individualistic game. So, and I think that's also in life. Most times in life, when you try to peg your life on others, they'll most likely disappoint you.
Yeah.
So, and this comes down to basically your thought process. Like the moment you're not so confident in your thought process, you're not so confident in your decision making process, you'll tend to seek clarification from other people, and not in a good way, but you just want to justify not justify your ego, but make yourself feel just good for making that decision. You see, not that this other person actually, if angekwambia ufanye any other thing else ungefanya, unaona, but you just want him to approve what you're thinking, unaona, like that approval. So life is not about approvals. Actually, it's better when you disapprove me. I come and tell you, hey, Caleb, I have this idea. If you disapprove me, I'll think more about it. But if you tell me, Taras, that's fine, go ahead and do it. Most likely I'll just idea, no? Like you've approved me so easily. So I think in life that has taught me to, in trading and in life, to be, to always like, before I even try and seek someone's guidance, I'll do my own personal research. I'll dig deep. Approval. Yeah, like I'll just do a lot of research myself. Then if I get into an obstacle that I can't pass through, I'll ask someone. I'll come and let's say talk to Ken and tell Ken, hey, what do you think about this philosophy, this idea and this idea and this idea? But before I do that, I've researched a lot on myself. So I think that's one valuable thing. I think I've learned from trading. Value of independent thinking.
Okay. So, nice stuff. I've remembered what I was going to say, yeah? You know, Ken, that's why I write things down.
Okay.
That's why I write things down. It helps me nisichanganikiwe. Anyway, I think one of the things I've learned from trading, which I'm also practicing it in real life, is rationality and long-term thinking. Okay? So, or more or less being aware of my emotions. Okay, and approaching the markets in a rational way. I'll explain both in life and in the markets. So let's start with the markets because that's where I learned it from. Yeah. So when you're trading, like what we discovered, you're trading. Most of the trades you normally take is these types, especially when you're starting off. Hey, this market is moving up. Let me jump in. This market is falling. Let me jump in. And you tend to make money in those trades. It's not that you lose all the time. And that's how we started off. Hey, oil is going up. You're inside. The oil is going down, you're inside. It continues moving down. But see, that was not a really systematic and rational way of approaching the markets. That's more or less just trading your emotions. Also, when you're coming out of a trade, you're fearful, FOMO to get in, and those stuff. So it's not a really rational way. So at the end of the day, you have to have a systemized way of entering the markets, okay? And what I mean, you should have a plan, okay? This plan will help you keep rationality in place. Like you're rational, a step-by-step process for you to enter the market, okay? Now, thinking of that in real life, a few examples I can give that maybe we did in real life. I remember when we were about to drop out.
Yeah.
So when we were about to drop out, our parents were really against it. So I remember my mom was, nah. No, it was just before we really went to drop out, and also after sasa unaanza kushanga, hey, this decision I've made, was it really a good decision? Was it a rational one? Does it make sense? So at the end of the day, what happened? You remember Ken, when we wrote on the board in the house pros and cons. So you come down with the pros and cons. So you're rationalizing it. See, like, I'm just leaving school because I don't like school. I'm not performing well. No. Systemized way, rational way. And also long-term thinking. Now I'll explain the long-term thinking. So when we broke it down, okay, huku shule, I remember some part for school because I was doing mechanical engineering, not what I wanted to do. I remember some part over there I'd written the cons. I don't know if it was a pro con, but it was more or less a con. I was doing it for my parents.
Yeah.
I was doing it for, it's not what I wanted.
That's a con. I don't think that's a pro.
That was a con, yeah. I was doing it for my parents. It wasn't really for me. This other side, I'm looking at Forex. This is what I want to do. It will give me more or less financial freedom. I learn from it. You get? It's what I really want to do, especially. At the end of the day, it's what, even if you fail, it's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
You didn't do it. It's like what you're saying, independent thinking. You didn't do it because someone else told you. It's always down to you. Fail, but it was your own decision. Yes, someone can advise you and that. But at the end of the day, itakuwa decision yako.
Exactly.
So that's sort of, and at the end of the day, I came and concluded that me leaving school, it's not a bad thing. It was better in the long term. Now also thinking long-term thinking, Forex was really new. So if we're able to build this into something big, it can be beneficial.
Yeah.
So also keeping in mind that long-term thinking. Plus, even if it's school is not going anywhere. Along the way, you can always come and learn new stuff, go and take this certain course and all those things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, coming down and thinking long-term, rationalize it, think about it. So I think that we learned a lot from trading, and then now you boil it down into real life. Do I have any other example? I think that's the main example I can give for now. But that's part of it. That's one. That's my first one. Yeah.
And for the long-term thinking?
The long-term thinking is what I was telling you now. Is what I was saying. In terms of school will be there. Okay. Now I was thinking long-term in terms of taking Forex for now. You remember I also did film.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I dropped film to do Forex. But I didn't drop film and say I'll never do it again. You remember it was like, there's this 10-year plan. So in the next 10, 15 years, kuna watu wanajenga industry ya Kenya ya film. Yeah. Let them do that. Mewacha ngangani na ingine. We're both doing the same. Then at the end of the day, tutakutana mbele. Okay. So having that long-term thinking of knowing, if it was short-term thinking, and remember the way we kept saying, tuko sure tukifanya Forex, the guys who in school will leave school before us, wapate job, waanze kuendesha magari mbele yetu,
Yeah.
That, but if you think long-term and always remember it, and you stay rational, usianze kuwa irrational along the way, saying, hey, my friend finished, wame graduate, they're celebrating, nini.
Irrationality.
Exactly. You're starting sasa umechanganyikiwa along the way. But if you think long-term, my time is coming. Parts are too different, but my time is coming. So that's what I meant with long-term thinking and mixing it with rationality. So along the way, usichanganyikiwe because you know the long-term vision, but along the way now you're making decisions according to that vision you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my first takeaway.
Okay. I think for me, trading is what has. I think if people were to say what influences them, some people will say, I met with a certain person, I met with a certain mentor, encountered a certain book. But for me, it's starting to trade. I think learning to trade was one of the things that has really changed me, both as a person and as a trader. And there are many things I've learned from trading, which I think are applicable in real life. So one of the most important things I think I've gathered is the value of challenging your belief systems, challenging your opinions, and challenging what you really, really believe in. There's a very high chance that your progress in knowledge won't come from learning what you don't know, but from falsifying what you already know. So, for example, if you really believed that this was the way to do something, and later you change your beliefs, I think there's some value, a lot of value that comes from doing such things. Rarely do people challenge their ways of thinking. Rarely do people challenge their ways of doing things, and rarely do people think hard about what they are doing. So trading in the markets, like I said, I've said this again, I think the markets are like a lab for me. So what I do is, like, my trading plan looks like more of a experiment that I'm coming to test out. If it's working well, I'm making money. If it's not working well, I'm losing money. And by the end of the day, what I have to do is to challenge my beliefs. I can't challenge the markets. What I have to challenge is my beliefs, my opinions, and to be aware of the biases that I hold. So that's one thing that I've noticed. And I think I've noticed, like what Lawi was saying, like the confirmation bias. The tendency for someone to ask for advice, not for the sole purpose of asking for advice, but for
confirmation,
approval.
of what they already know.
Exactly. The minute you try to tell them, but have you thought about this?
For example,
Their minds are closed off. Like, I may approach you and tell you, okay, Caleb, I'm thinking of making a decision from moving to place A, from point A to point B. And I may ask you, okay, what do you think about that? And from your perspective, maybe you see some things that I've not thought about. But immediately you start pointing out those things. I'm no longer interested in listening. I'm just telling you, you're not also looking at this, you're not looking at this. So it was not really...
Now you walk away, go listen to Taras. Taras tells you
what I want to hear.
I think I also have an example on that from interacting with students. There's clients coming to the office.
Yeah.
Someone's come to the office. He likes your strategy. He sees you're making money. Then he also has his own strategy.
Yeah.
Then he tells you, let me show you mine.
Thank you.
And I want you to guide me on some few things.
Exactly. You're coming to me for advice, but you are showing me what you're doing. And you don't want like valid advice. Like you believe it's working. That's a very good example.
The moment you open your laptop and you show me a few things and I try and correct you and tell you, okay, I used to use this strategy before,
I've tried this.
The way your position sizing is wrong. Nakwambia hii yangu ni tofauti na yako.
There's something you're missing. You get like you remember a perfect kwanza, it's good you've mentioned. You remember the guy who came to the office and he had a strategy which had a risk reward of about 1:1.5 and a hit rate of 30.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
So someone said praise by name, criticize by category. So I won't say the name. Anyway, the basic was we tried to tell this guy that this thing wouldn't work and he never bought the idea. So he was like, let me do this. Let me go and fine tune further. Then I'll come back to you.
Yeah.
Anytime I find myself doing that, I'm very, very aware. And even if I'm doing that, like when I'm talking to you, when I retreat back and then I'm on my own, I really try to reflect on why I was doing certain things. So I'm aware. I know I'll do that sometimes. Also, I'm not saying that you shouldn't hold on to your opinions. Like you should be assertive and open-minded at the same time. A balance of the two is what you need. You're strongly held to your opinions, like you have strongly held opinions, but at the same time, you're challenging them.
Yeah, it's like this guy in Market Wizards. I don't know what's his name, but his name is just written there. Then his quote, you know those stats?
It's Peter Brandt. Strongly held opinions. Strong opinions, weakly held. Yeah.
So you're strongly opinionated on this, but you're also
open-minded.
If something new comes, you're open to listen
to other things. Yeah, so that's one of the things that I think is very, very important for me. The second one is things don't work in a linear way in life.
Linear?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So many people assume that once I start working hard, in the next 6 months, I will have made this. In the next 12 months, I'll have made this. In the next 15 months, I'll have made this much progress.
Yeah.
If that's your plan, there's a high chance you won't succeed big time.
Yeah.
Real success is kind of exponential. You may take 5 years, you're not making real progress in the terms of making any money. So, for example, for a trader, you may take the first 5 years not making any money, just learning systems, trying out systems, being profitable, building the consistency, but no real money. Like, hata watu wakuuliza, na hii trading yako, umeifanya miaka mingi, na hii pesa yako unapelekanga wapi? Like, you can't explain to them. Then comes the big breaks. Like comes after 5 years.
Takes time.
Exactly. You get the big breaks. You get 20 million to manage. You get 50 million to manage. Then you just move from making, let's say, $100, $200, $300 to making 3 million, 5 million in a snap. In real sense, it's not in a snap.
Yeah.
It took you some time.
So overnight success
it's
took
not,
20 years.
Exactly. It's an overnight success which took 20 years. So a big part of life, I think, also works in the same way.
Yeah.
If you're developing a long-term plan, don't have like after 6 months nataka nikue hapa. If you have a long-term plan, a long-term vision, and you have some strategic goals that you're hitting along the way, then I think the big breaks will come eventually.
Yeah.
Especially it's like the content creators who like all of a sudden trend. Like unasikia kama mtu ame create content on TikTok for 3 years. Then just one video, pop. And that was it. That was the video that was to make this man successful. Like this was the breaking point.
Yeah.
That's an exponential curve. So I believe trading has taught me that. And I really try to apply it in every facet of my life. As long as I'm doing my daily job, Like I know there's that point that will come and things will open up greatly. And the reason I talked about this is because I think now the difference between someone who's trading and someone who's employed, or someone who's in business and someone who's employed, is the guy who's employed is more of a linear curve. It's very hard to jump from earning 0 to $1 million.
Of course.
If you're working for someone.
Yeah.
Like siwezi kupea hiyo raise yote kwa nini? So some of these things apply in business, in skills that you're using. Like you'll say, someone may say, I learned programming for 5 years, but sikuwa natengeneza hata ndururu. Then after 5 years, hey, things just opened up. So I think that's exponential, and it gives you a lot of peace of mind when you're working on something with that mentality, because you know you don't really need to see each day ati goals hivyo. Life haiwaki hivyo venye umeipicture kwa akili yako.
Yeah, as Mark Zuckerberg says, ideas don't come out fully formed.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
You
So
plan something for the next month, the month comes, ijafika, but
Haijafika
like what you're
bado.
planning is not yet there. So
Bas.
if you get stuck on that idea, most likely you won't progress even further.
Yep.
Yeah, so like, and on the value of long-term thinking, like short-term goals can easily differentiate from what you expect.
Yeah.
So like, it shouldn't change your long-term
Perspective or vision.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's say in 6 months you had a plan, because it's also good to have a 6-month plan.
Yeah.
But if it doesn't come out, you still know, me have a 20-year plan.
Exactly.
So this 6-year plan, as 6 months plan, I can still maneuver around.
And
Maybe for the next 7 or 8th month, niko nimei hit target. But the problem is, msee ako tu na hiyo 6 months, ana ile ingine huko. Ako tu na hiyo 6 months peke yake. So ikifika 6 months na hajapata bana, inakuwa
tragedy.
Tragedy. Yeah.
So those emotional, like if you think about, like I was thinking about, if your goal is to become exceptional at trading, like you don't become exceptional at trading after 2 years of trading, bana. Hata kama una make pesa, you're not exceptional bado. You've just started. You become exceptional after a decade of investing in something. Like umekuwa hapo deeply, you're working on it, you're watching markets, you're
consistently.
Exactly, you're learning new concepts. Like you're learning different things, and then hata uelewangi unajipatanga tu hala na kumbe mimi ni pro wa hii kitu. Most times you don't set out to be a pro. If you set out to be a pro, there's a high chance you won't attain it. You set out to be deeply immersed in what you're doing. Then you just find yourself things hitting up and you're making good money and things are flowing your way. So I think that's one of the things that, again, trading has taught me, which is applicable in real life. So if you're out somewhere, you're trying to start out on a startup, don't calculate when you've done the startup, you pick up in the next 3 weeks,
Months.
4 months, 6 months, 1 year. Man, easy, man. But I'm telling you the truth, it's going to take you about 5 years to develop a product, first of all, before you can even scale it up. A product that people really want. So things don't happen that fast. But there's a way to fasten things. But you really also need to come back to how reality works. And I think you said it best. You had the bamboo strategy. I don't know if it was
the bamboo strategy, the one that takes years.
Yeah. So I was
bamboo,
told a bamboo tree, when you plant it and you water it, it doesn't start growing until after how many years.
Yeah, so bamboo, you water it, you plant it. First year you water it, nothing. Second year water, nothing. Third year, nothing.
I think it's because it grows to the ground.
Yeah, it's growing inside, of course. Like it's going deep. Fourth year, nothing. Fifth year, akashoot inatoka.
Ikitoka
5 years, bro. 5 years you watering.
Ikitoka
Ujona anything. That thing in 6 weeks. Boom.
Koko juu.
So it takes
like recoil velocity. Unajikunja tu uko nyuma.
Bas, alafu unajipropel. Exactly. So
for 5 years.
That's the thing. Yep. I think that's a valid lesson which especially for entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
Someone who's interested in business, developing a skill
takes time,
man. Takes time.
Be patient. Persistent. Yep.
You've said like 3 other facts that trading has helped us. Anyway,
you have one? You continue or I go?
Let me continue. For me, I think and I always talk to Ken about this, and a lot of people, resilience. Resilience.
Resilience. About it a lot.
In this game, it's the first thing you need. The first thing, because I think it's one of the hardest careers you'll ever want to put yourself into.
Endeavors.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest endeavors you want to put yourself into.
It's hard.
Yeah, because it challenges you mentally, and there's no point. Like, of course, yeah, with time you'll cement your mentality, but before you cement it, it has taken you through torture, and you can't replace that torture. Like,
Cannot.
yeah, like it will stay with
But
you
you
for the
can't
rest of your
replace
life.
that pain.
Yeah, you can't.
I don't
True,
make 10
true.
million string up.
Yeah, your first 5 years was painful, and it was painful for real. So,
Life is a struggle.
yeah, life is a struggle. Then, as I think it was
Who?
Jesse Livermore. I was about to say Atashofen. Jesse Livermore. He was saying when he was starting out trading, he had 4 problems.
Yeah, the guy had problems.
Lack of capital.
Wait.
Experience.
Inexperience.
You say them nicely. I have them here.
You have them. We just
I was
quote
a
that
victim.
guy. Quote that guy.
You said it perfectly when starting out.
I was a victim of inexperience, lack of capital.
Hey. Imagine like the smallest savings you have inaenda kwa soko bala hiyo kitu. And on Monday you're in the office.
And you need to pay bills.
And you can't cheat. You know, there's no way for you to cheat. Like, where's Sema? Hey, Achandlani. You can't cheat.
Atusana demo yeso.
Like, you can't cheat. You have
Can't
to
cheat
get
the
some real
process.
money. Yep.
Man, so like the fact that trading you learn by losing money, like losing your own self-esteem to some point. You start believing like, is this shit not for me? Am I forcing issues? Like that, those things that you start out, they're emotional tortures, and like moving on from such stuff is hard. So,
And if you don't move on from such stuff again, you will never master trading.
yeah, exactly. So like you need to realize that like you useme tu kweli, like the way si tumekubali hii shit ni ngumu, it will take us years. So the moment you don't have that, unakubali tu. The moment you don't have that, like umefixate your mind that I'm not expecting trading to pay me, because you've lost a lot in markets also.
Yeah.
Pay you back and even break even in 1 year, 2 years. For someone who's starting out, you've lost $1,000, $2,000, others even at the terms of 1 million shillings. Recovering that money is even harder because, as we say, losing 90% of your account, you need to make 900% back.
Yeah.
So like that 900% gain back from money that you saved later, unaona si hata tena ni ile do ulikuwa you blew that account. So like you need to forgive yourself first. Jiambia tu kitu ni ngumu na nimejisamehea kwa kujiweka kwa hii shida, but in the long run you know what you're working for. So that like for you to stay in markets for 20-30 years, you have a long-term thinking, yes, but if you don't have resilience, you won't achieve that long-term goal.
So long-term vision iko, but
iko lakini sasa resilience ilikucheka.
I found your quote. For years, so Jesse Livermore said, for years I had been a victim of unfortunate combination of inexperience, youth and insufficient capital. So the 3 of those.
Imagine, man.
Inexperience.
Youth is a problem.
Yeah, as a youth one, you don't have you don't have capital. That's fact. Hauna job. Most people 20 years to 27 years. Most of them are still out of campus, hustling here and there, like small savings.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you don't have a $10,000 hata. Na tunasemanga $50,000 ndo benchmark kwanza ku trade well. So for a youth to raise $50,000, ujama kwanza unaona vile yako na shida for years. It will take you over 1 to 5 years first to learn. Another, let's say 2 years to get 5 million shillings.
Yep.
You see, because you can't also get 5 million in 1 year. Unless when uanze kukonkon watu that you know me, I have this investment plan, a theory which you don't have. So it takes so much resilience, like for you to
resilience,
like for you to accept that
the resilience is the one you say for a soldier. Not for a soldier.
Discipline is for a soldier.
Oh, that's discipline. Okay.
Takuleta ni soldier anakimbia huko. Discipline ndio nayo.
Discipline ndio ya soldier, but say resilience man, and that come like in life also. The moment you want to be like an outstanding person in life. Okay, if you want to be basic person, but the resilience lazima pia.
Ni lazima pia bana.
Basic tu bro, basic.
Maisha iko na challenge mingi bro.
Maisha ni ngumu
Maisha ni ngumu bro. Akia Mungu bila resilience.
Don't actually exactly like if you want to be outstanding in life,
take it up a notch. If you resilience outstanding,
itakuwa harder bro. Like you'll have to face more enemies of course as you go upside the ladder.
Setbacks.
Kwa mseme changamka bro, kuna of course more enemies than msaje changamka huko.
Yes,
so like for you to just accept that it's going to take me time, and for within this time I don't need to give up. So a lot of things will hinder you from attaining your long-term goals. You're giving up too fast. Needs from family, maybe a lot of pressure from friends, maybe. We've seen a lot of people quit trading, not because they don't want to trade, but because they have other pressures from life. Ushafika 30 manze,
sema hii age nafaa kuwa hapa.
Hujafika
income kajaka, unaona. Exactly. So but you have that in trading itakuwa mwasha in 20 years ama 15 years ama 10 years, but you're just on your third year, and bado wasa pressure the life zimeanza ku overcome your long term goal. Una give a price on your long term goal because
you forget where you started.
Unataka tu sustainability tu. Hiyo kwa mwaka sana, hiyo 9 months ya life ingine. You want to be sustainable tu. Ulipange tu rent
comfortable tu.
Unajua also Caleb, trust me, it's easier for you to be resilient because you're just 24 25. Ungekuwa unaanza ku trade bro at 35, trust me, there's a high chance ungequit because pressure, like demands of life too. At 35 bro, maybe you have a kid, a wife,
2 kids.
2 kids, a wife. Zero support from your parents.
Like, no, you know parent.
So no parent. So lack support you from grandparents tena.
No parent.
So most likely afu unajiambia hapo uko 35, unajiambia sasa niko na 10 years. So trading yako kanua ukiwa 45. Unaacha hiki kitu. Sasa nakusho also timing I think also is something
important.
The value of understanding that being aggressive on some things. Like you don't have to wait so much. Like if for us I would have waited to finish school. We started training in 2016. Until now I'd been 5th year now. You see, sasa ningeanza ku trade next year, kuanza ku learn ku trade in 2022 after graduating maybe. If 5 years enye nimeitumia most likely ningeanza ku trade at let's say at 25. Ingiane at 35. Unaona? But I started trading at 19. So by 29, if it takes 10 years on average, at least nitakuwa sawa, unaona? And that's like 4 years too. So I think being aggressive also at a young age, and this I can tell people in high school, people who just finished high school,
university.
People in university, be aggressive. Don't follow that path of society umwambiwa ati sijui maliza hii kwanza ndio ufanye ingine.
Tukia hiyo vitu ati hii age yako mbona unafanya kazi hivi sana. Kupana.
I want to cheat you man.
Ni kwa mtu wa kawaida.
Exactly. So being aggressive on some things, also like learning on the go. You see, we when we dropped out of school, we didn't even know how to trade.
You
see, but we were learning on the go. Like we were confident, yes, that in the long run
things will work out.
We'll learn. I will learn how to do this thing. So that was the first step. Even not making money, but at least tutaelewa hii stuff inawakaje. Unajua uwezi force car, msee alikuwa anafanya ngali uko hivi linguistics akuja afanye engineering. Haizi elewa hata before hata kuwa tu engineer, haizi elewa kitu inawakaje. So at least for us we were confident that to understand markets. And the fact that tukaanza kulearn on the go, like we didn't wait to sijui mushanga sana na wase msantaka sijui so much information tundo anza tu na simple article ya trading, hapo ndo ya journey ya trading imeanza. Research yako tu pole pole, you don't have to like sijui have unangoja tu kuwe na $10,000 unangoja sijui
sawa tu kungoja hiyo ndani mahali.
Exactly,
these are perfect things aligning up. Rarely
don't align up easily, so just start somewhere, kick it off. Ukimake mistakes you learn from those mistakes. Shida ni pia also vile tumesemanga tu life imetufunza avoid hizo mistakes. So no matter mtu ataki hata kukua
Huko.
Akutake hizo risks.
Yeah.
Atuna drop out kwanza bangalia Kenya watu wangapi wamekuwa millionaire from trading hakuna yaenda basi. So but for us we took that step, that initiative to start out. It was a big risk. But at least we had like a framework on how we'll handle it. Alafu pia the fact that tumesema also like be adaptable to change. Usikue fixated to in your mind. For us tulikuwa na goal in 3-4 months tuko Dubai huko hadi saa hizi bado unaona. So like tulichange idea tukaitupa kitambo, tukatupa side nyingine, tukaadapt nyingine, tukaadapt nyingine, and until now tumeadapt very very many ideas until penye FRB kwa saa hizi where we are as traders. The podcast coming in, you see, changing your beliefs, your ideas, adapting new things. Exactly. Good.
Okay, nice. May have two things at the same time, yeah, especially for the young people.
Nyinyi kwani wazee aje?
I'm just 23.
I'm just 24.
Many young people bana.
Wewe umetushinda hapa.
Many young people bana. Acha
Youngins.
Anyway,
the first time I heard this was from Vusi Tembekwayo, but it's something I've resonated with it for a long time, and I think I keep saying it in the office, and my friends I keep saying, you do not have to make the right decision, but you can make the decision right.
Yep, true.
Like what you're saying, mistakes. Kwanza Jesilivo says, I always find it profitable learning from my mistakes. So when you make a decision, unajua kuna mtu lana amefikiria hadi hii decision, anafikiria should I make it, should I not, hadi I make. Okay, it's like trading. Now in trading, now you're paralyzed. Unashanga nichukue trade, nisichukue, I've been losing nini, but you make the decision. Along the way you can make the decision right. Okay, because let's start off like this. Once you make a decision, it may turn out well, it may turn out bad. Whatever outcome comes, you can learn from both of them. So like Jesiliva says, I think vile si tumelan mostly since hatujakuwa na mentor anyone is from our mistakes. What we keep doing over and over again, our bad habits, those things, and we learn from it. You learn from me what may I do, I learn from you Taras, the mistakes you've made. So at first you made those decisions, okay, but along the way you're trying to make these decisions right. You dropping out of school was a decision. Back then to do forex, back then you didn't know if it was right or wrong. You didn't know it was right, but it was up to you.
The outcome of this decision.
You wouldn't know the outcome, but it was up to you to make that decision right, and we have that power. May have dropped out. I can drop out, nianze kufanya forex na nipotee, ni give up, nianze kushanga now why I drop out. I start going back to where I was 4 years ago. Exactly. But the fact that nako hivyo resilient, I'm learning from my mistake, I'm making that decision right. It has to be right.
You'll succeed.
Exactly. It has, like, I have no option. I have to be right. So these decisions you're about to make, especially the big decisions, it doesn't always have to be right, but along the way you can make it right. So usikwangi na pressure, sijui ama usikwe paralyzed.
Exactly. I'm too fearful to make a decision.
Exactly. Yeah, make it.
As Peter Thiel says, a bad plan is always better than no plan.
Exactly.
Ukuwe na ka plan ingine tu shady.
You can change along.
Lakini kushinda msana plan yoyote, unaona? Exactly.
Jamaa ko mbali sana.
So ukuwe tuna plan. Unaweza change uko mbele tu. Than having no plan, no goals, no vision, no energy to even do something. Exactly.
Yeah, so that was our first one I was saying. So just to repeat it, you don't have to make the right decision, but you can always make the decision right. To the second one, I think I'm gonna have to move. Aim high.
Aim to the moon.
Aim big, man. Aim uko juu, and aim uko stars, nini. Aim as far as you can, but at the same time, bring reality to the table. Okay. Aim uko. So just to stay a story, the first time we got a $5-figure account to start trading, when we got the $20,000. You remember for about 6-7 months, you remember that time? I remember that year we got that. I remember you had a goal of at the end of the year you should have $5,000 account.
No, 10.
It was 10,
It was 10.
And mine was what? I think mine was also 10. So like, hey, okay. So now for the first half of the year, ngoja, you're aiming towards it, okay?
Yeah.
So I remember at first, I was aiming a bit low.
Yeah.
So you remember that story. I was aiming for this certain amount because you're saying, hey, ile huko ni a bit far. Let me aim to pali kitu neza bring to the table. But anyway, aim big, aim for the stars. And then, so I remember that time I was aiming for what?
You're aiming for $10,000.
For $10,000.
Yeah.
Then we're pushing, you're aiming for that. For 6 months, I was just aiming for that. And then all of a sudden, it figured around, I think, June, July. I was like, Allah, why am I aiming for 10,000? So I aim for 20.
Yeah.
You remember?
Yeah.
And in how long did we get that 20?
In less than a month.
Exactly. Like, aim for the stars. We got, it came.
Yeah.
So aim high. Even if you land on the moon, you landed somewhere.
Yeah.
Don't aim too low. Now, there's this thing they keep saying. The problem is you aim too low and you always achieve it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Kaa tu a job. Nataka tu kufika hapa tu. Nikipanda hapa. Nataka tu kushika hii nyumba ya 15K.
Na utaishi hiyo 15.
Utaishi. Yeah, but aim. Say you want to build this, build that. So, but at the same time now what you're saying, bring reality to the table. So, like what you're saying, you started Forex, Dubai in 3 months. It's a good goal. But reality,
si bado uta travel light trading. Mnadhani tulitupa hiyo dream.
Could travel, will travel.
Nafunga kazi kwanza 6 months.
But you did what? You brought reality to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
There are things-
discovered you need some time before you get there.
Yes.
Yep.
So you just postponed it kidogo, and then you push it a bit further, but you aim like what you're saying, Sasa Taras. 3 months to Dubai, umeanza tu Forex. Hey, my friend, it's not been 4 years. But the plan is there. The goal
Plan
is
is there,
there.
yeah, exactly.
Kwanza sasa ukienda ndo utachafua ile mbaya.
Exactly,
But yeah, so always bring reality to the table. You remember also perhaps when I was starting off, nilikuwa msa fantasy ni nini hivyo. Reality ilikuwa a bit distorted. Ilikuwa you get. But at the end of the day, you bring reality and fuse the two. Don't give up on the dream. Big ile kabisa, but also reality. Now reality comes with your step by step. I'll do this, I'll invest in this, it'll let a return.
Yeah.
A return will be more, I'll invest more in this.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are my 2 cents, man.
Okay, that's
valuable.
nice.
Yeah.
And I think to just add on to what you said, I think on the aiming, I think it's all about your perception. I remember when we were going to Coast, the car we used was a car I had not noticed before.
Yeah.
I'd not even observed that certain car companies have certain car models.
Yeah.
Then when you use the car, all of a sudden I started noticing them everywhere until I was like, hey, these cars are this common. It was all about the perception.
Yeah.
Immediately you don't bring something close to your mind, like it's not visible to you. But immediately you bring something close to your mind. Now your mind finds ways of looking at that thing, finds ways of getting, like your mind is so powerful. If you just understand that and you aim, hivyo unasema, like if you aim, ukona a very high chance of attaining your target. If you aim and you put in
so
the
your
right
aiming
work.
should also be definite.
Exactly.
Kuna ile kuaim someone I want to be rich.
You're
I want to
vague.
be-
That's a
put
vague
figure
goal.
on it.
Exactly.
Put something tangible.
Put something tangible. Create that clarity.
Mhm.
It's easier for you now to move towards it. You get?
Yeah.
So I think that's a valid thing. Coming back, I think discipline.
Critical. Stay on the soja, bro.
Discipline. And I'll mix this one with 2. I'll also mix it now. I think I've gotten a good model from you how you guys are doing it. Anyway, so first things first. I think life is a balance of aggression and defense. Like
Exactly.
you have to know when to be aggressive, when to be defensive.
Yeah.
And to some point, there's some years where you should be very, very aggressive, and there's some years where you'll be playing defense in your life.
Yeah.
At 60 wezi anza kucheza aggressively, una invest in cryptos, cash, ukona a lot. Yeah, exactly. But in your 20s, hey, if you're not being aggressive, jua sasa your years of being aggressive are going down and down and down. Yeah. So first things first, I think having a burning desire of what you want to achieve and being aggressive enough to go for it are 2 of the most valuable things that I think everyone should learn.
Having
A burning desire, and then being aggressive enough to pursue it. I don't think you can stand any chance to succeed as a trader if you don't have those two things. The setbacks that are there are so many that kama una hiyo aggression fulani ya ku override all these things that come on your way, then it's very, very easy for you to ultimately give up and just go home and decide I'm not going to pursue anything. But now in your aggression and in your defense playing, you need discipline.
Yeah.
Success is not like we've been working for 5 years size, ndio nakujanga office daily, uko na big time success bado still not there. You've seen some steps, some growth, but you've not gotten where the reason you started ndio hujakaribia kwanza. Ndio. So if you lapse, and I think that's one thing that I've observed, many people after you see the first, maybe you set out a goal to get to point B. Let's say you're going to point C. Then you get to point B. There's a high chance you can lapse. You can feel like you've gotten there. Now you don't need to work as hard. You understand things. The minute you do that is the minute you start falling back. And falling back and falling ahead is a spiral. I think that's why even the rich keep getting richer. It's because the richer you get, the more opportunities are presented to you, the more you can capitalize on them, the more you have resources. So you just keep on going and going and going.
Networks.
Exactly. The more you fail, the more people run away from you, the more you don't have opportunities, the more you don't have networks. The psyche even to exactly like you're una fall back to kabisa. Na uki fall ahead, it's the same thing ina happen. You just start moving ahead over time. You get?
Yeah, I get.
So I think ultimately I've learned that discipline is not even the reason. Even many people, like I feel like if today someone asked me, okay, you, let's say 10-15 years down the line, I'm a very rich person, and someone came to me and told me, okay, give me advice. What I think I'll say, I think I'm still not sure. I'll test it out. Yeah. That's the plan. Simply I'm planning to do. I'll tell that person, focus on discipline and consistency. Ultimately you'll get where you want.
Focus on
discipline and consistency. Because if you're disciplined enough to know what you should be doing at a certain time, and you train yourself, like usipo train kwanza akili yako ni kama mtoto, itakuwa ikifanya vitu yake tu huko. So you really need to sit down and train yourself to be disciplined. Like, you have some work, like I've observed even in the office. There's the Parkinson's law. One thing I've observed is if you're setting...
What's the Parkinson's law?
So the Parkinson's law is basically a law that people tend to do a job or tend to do a task not with the time accorded to them, but with the deadline they're given. Like that's, I am not sure of the exact words, but that's the gist of it. So basically, let's say I give you a task, and the task will take you 2 days, but I give you 2 weeks. You won't do it the first 2 days, you'll do it the last 2 days.
Of course.
You get? So if you have strict deadlines for yourself, no one will push you to save, no one will push you to put money aside, no one will push you to invest. Those are things you decide on yourself. Okay, mwandaanza kuinvest at 40, ni sawa. Parkinson's law ina work tu, utaanza at 40. But you decide, I'm starting at 25, man. I'm starting at 24. I'm starting at 20. And you set the timeline and you start. You'll do that thing that way. So you need to be very, very disciplined in whatever you're doing. Whether you're pursuing a career in creativity, whether you're I don't think you can achieve any long-term success without discipline in any field.
Yeah, true.
And that's the common thing across all people who are successful. Whether you're an athlete, in athletics, a musician, ukienda watu watakwambia kila siku niko studio 5, kila siku niko, yani jamaa
kwa track nakimbia,
siamkangi ati tu asubuhi na decide leo. It doesn't work that way. You need to develop that discipline of consistently doing things, and trading is a perfect avenue for that. Like I don't think you can be rewarded as a trader without discipline. Impossible. So you need to find that discipline of doing things in a certain way, doing them repeatedly, doing them consistently. I think one of the most disciplined people I know, and you may observe, ni Gitosh. He comes to the office every single day. He's
every day. Sunday to Sunday.
Exactly. Very disciplined. Like ni ngumu mpatia
routine ile. Si leo ako huko, leo ako hivi.
And this is a guy who's making a lot of money. Some people wakipewa hiyo do wanakuwa indisciplined.
Kabisa.
So that tells you a lot even about keeping money that you make. You need to be very disciplined.
And I think that starts from the little you have now.
Exactly. Before you go mob.
So what you have now, hata kani 1,000, 10,000.
Your discipline ndio itakupropel further. Wasofikiria discipline comes after success, but it's discipline then success, not success then discipline. It's not the opposite. You start by being disciplined, then it propels you now to be successful. So I think trading everyone knows this, but trading has made it clear to me that without it, then you either suffer the pain of discipline or you suffer the pain of regret. Either way there is pain, and you have to choose which pain to pursue.
The regret on waste tons.
I don't know, you have to make your decision.
I don't know. That one is worse.
Any example of when you're indisciplined and you lost money in markets, or maybe
very many times, very many times, very many.
One for the
very
listeners.
many times. I think
because I'm sure most people like easy mistakes in Awanga so correlated.
One of me, I've made discipline mistakes in both giving back profits, like it got to my target. Like I remember there's a gold position I had, was running pretty well. I'd made $660. My target was attained, but I was indisciplined. I was like, this thing will keep on moving lower. In less
lower, high?
Lower. Lower. It was a low position. It was that day we were at Michael's place. You remember?
When?
Sometime last year. Tulikuwa kwa Michael huko. Tulikuwa na meeting huko. Then when I came back, gold was moving to my side. I'd made like 660. Then boom, lost it all. Like gone. And then there are also times when you execute a position. Your plan is to risk 1%. Then you're like, no, let me just risk 1.5. Let me risk 2%. Those are the trades that don't work. Those are the scenarios whereby indiscipline inakumes. You're in a position, it's going to your favor. Haijafikia target yako, you decide acha nitoke. Indiscipline tena. Just keeps on running to your target and even further.
So basically you're not disciplined in following your plan.
Exactly. If you're not disciplined in following your plan, you will fail as a trader. That one we can assure you. But the minute you start being disciplined, the minute you start following your plan well, consistently, and then you're patient enough to wait for those scenarios where the trades come to your favor, then it's very easy for you now to like make money in the markets. Yeah. I think as a trader, you'll have to, that's a psychological problem. So once you start trading live accounts, that's when you'll understand the value of discipline.
True,
when you're learning how to analyze markets, how to look at markets in different ways, fundamentals, you don't really need that much discipline to do some of these things. But once you're in the battlefield now and you're executing positions on a day-to-day basis, that's when you realize how tricky your psychology gets and how easily you can lose if you're not disciplined in the markets.
That's true.
Yep.
When it comes to discipline, I had also had a point on that. First, you need a plan,
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it like you cannot be disciplined in what you don't have a plan for.
Exactly. That's what we're talking about. You're not disciplined in following a plan. Yeah, but continue.
Yeah. So for example, I like using the gym.
Yeah.
It also relates. It's like sports,
athletics,
performance. Trading is also a performance sport. So the fact that I can be disciplined enough to go to the gym every day, but I'm doing nothing. Naendanga tu. Kama nitafika nifanyange tu.
Lakini hata hili uko disciplined kuenda. Kuna mwingine hata kuenda kwanza.
Basi unacheki. Hapa hakuna basi point of discipline. You're not doing it.
Okay,
so
I get your point.
You get, but now you're going to the gym every day and you do nothing. You're just going nivi kavli. You can be trading every day but you're learning nothing. You're just trading, but now you go to the gym. Now you have the discipline. Hapa stoki kabla sijakimbia 4 kilometers. You're on discipline. Now you follow it consistently every time. Low stoki hapa kasi jafanya this number of press ups, this evil. You get.
Yeah.
So without the plan itself, discipline kwanza ata
I work.
Yeah. Start with plan, then discipline, then just studying on it.
Okay, me think next point will be always have a focus on your job. Like be focused on your job.
Focus.
Focus. Maintaining focus. So
especially over the long term.
Yeah, over the long term. So that comes down from not jumping from one business to another, one strategy to another, one belief of life to another.
Do you want a belief?
Belief, yeah.
Leo uko hivi, kesho uko
hivi. So I think that from trading, having a focus on your job. Trading is a job that will need you to be there, as the Silvamo says, every day, every time. Like, okay, not that you'll be buying and selling every time, but you always have to know where markets are. you always have to know where prices are trading for the assets you trade. You always have to know what are affecting these prices. Is it technical? Like, is it a technical move? Is it a fundamental move? So the fact that you need to always be on the job, it shows a lot about like how much you need to focus on something for you to
attain success.
For you to attain success in that field.
Yep.
So I don't think Messi would have become a successful footballer if he was doing football
Bake.
bado hapo anasoma, he's in school. Cricket, and he's doing a lot. But when you look at these people, kina Messi, Ronaldo, those people went to football academies when they were 6-7 years old, 9, and they never went to school, bro. No school. You're focusing on football, and that's your life. Exactly. So I think society hapo ndio imefail. Inatupea so many things to do about our lives. Until now we lose focus on the main thing about our lives that we should be doing. So unapata mse, kwanza trading ni side hustle. Kwanza Bernard Baruch sema hivyo. Do not become a speculator. Because this stuff is speculation. Like, do not become a speculator if you can't make it a full-time job. You're investor, not speculator. Kuna differences. If you want to speculate in markets, make it a full-time job. Like, maybe in the long run, but you can say maybe for the first 2-3 years you'll be hustling as you learn. Then you'll be maybe after saving, like, just have a plan. Maybe not maybe that easy. Have a plan. So, and focus on that plan. So imagine umeanza kutrade 2 years into it, sema hii trading kwanza
chaitulia
niende shule kwanza nimalize kwanza huko shule, ndio nilikuwa nimesahau. Uliacha shule ukaingia trading.
Tilikuwa nimesahau.
Sasa 2 years trading imekuwa mawe, bado hujasonga. Unasema sasa nirudi shule kidogo nimalize nao hazaiji, bado ananipea pressure, unaona? Yani you're not focused on one path of life. Me believe, like, for you to form mastery in a field, it needs total dedication, like deep work. Like doing something for long hours, because also life is competitive, you see.
But let me ask you a question. If you look at a guy like Ray Dalio, we just use examples, yeah? Ray Dalio has expertise in many fields, right? True or false?
True.
You're saying what? Ray Dalio
has expertise in many fields. True or false? True or false?
Many fields, like what? Away from economics?
Yeah.
Psychology.
You can sit with him and you can talk a lot about psychology. Like, you understand psychology deeply.
And
continue it.
The reason he went to do psychology was still to improve his trading.
Exactly. So
you see?
Now my point was, you can focus on multidisciplinary approaches which intertwine or get married together.
That's fine.
Same ecosystem.
Exactly. Same ecosystem. In fact, in the current world, that's the best way to. I think ukiangalia was exceptional sign ni rare upate alifanya tu technical analysis peke yake. Like, as a trader, you'll have to understand fundamentals, you'll have to understand the stock market deeply, you'll have to understand your systems, you'll have to understand psychology. Exactly. You'll have to understand developing how it's happening. Once you don't do that, someone else will do it and will beat you 10.
Exactly.
That's true. You're just like, there's a very fine difference between someone who's doing, if you're starting, let's say, you're in the real estate business, and then you're in stocks. This is someone who's doing investing, basically. He's just investing in different assets.
Yeah.
He can understand both fields. Right?
Yeah.
Manyumba, yes, it need niende huko ni inspect, ni make sure iko na the right agent. But at the same time, in the stock market, you can also speculate on it and make some money out of it. Personally, I don't think you can. Now, the thing is, you can't develop mastery for the two of them at the same time.
Exactly.
Now, that's where I think your point comes in.
Yeah, exactly.
Your first 10 years, you must decide, I'm dedicated to do this thing. Because like Caleb right now, Caleb is good at editing. But he's also a trader. Exactly. Right. So has your editing interfered with your trading?
No.
Exactly. So especially if you I think the thing is, and if you just read that book Deep Work, the one you were referring to, the thing is many people don't have the ability to focus for long hours.
Exactly.
You at a seat time ni kufocus for long hours on a subject deeply. Once you develop that skill of being able to go to a subject deeply for long hours, 8 hours, 9 hours, uko superhuman, you can do different things. Yeah, you can learn different things.
Exactly.
But it comes at a cost again. Hautakuwa na dunda, hautakuwa na time with friends, hautakuwa na hiyo balanced life kwanza weka huko kando. Haiko karibu na.
Now my point was this, Ken.
The myth of life
So
balance.
for Caleb, it's good and perfect time management maybe that has helped him get there.
Yeah.
But now imagine Caleb ameingia Forex 2016-17. 2018 akaacha kutrade akasema sasa nitafute job films kwanza. Unaona?
No.
Akaenda sasa kwanza asubuhi akiamka tu ni ku
angalia hata tape tena.
Ina kamera.
Unaona? Uko bana shooting imeanza kuisha kinara amesikia rafiki yake kwa anafanyanga rev.
Hiyo sasa
ameacha tena kushoot ameenda kufanya rev. Unaona? Sasa hiyo ndo nakushow
you're lost.
Focus on your job.
Yeah. You're lost.
Yeah, exactly. If it's around your job, hiyo ni sawa. Kama ni trading, learning quant trading, learning
different ways of looking at markets. Yuko sawa.
In your job, unaona? The moment bro focus on your job, itakuteka sasa bro, kwanza trading tunasema it takes 10 years to perfect it. The moment unafanya trading na kitu kingine, sasa it take 40 years.
Because you're not focused.
Yeah. Like let's say you are,
so it takes 10 years ukiwa focus.
Ukifocus sasa it take 10 years.
And who gave you this number?
Tumesema on average tu. Tumesema ni on average.
Will decide. Fanya research you point out.
Nataka ni 2 years.
Sasa God alimshow.
Nataka ni 2 years.
But okay, on average it takes that time.
Focus it take 6 years.
Yep.
Yeah, true.
Exactly. So like for me I believe like also that being focused on what you're doing in life. Still as my trading.
Anything you're doing.
Anything you're doing in life, be focused on it. Expect
it's the law of aimlessness.
Exactly. You have aimlessness.
Like uko kila mahali uko aimless.
Exactly.
Hata hivi tu unafanya hata hakuna mahali itapatana.
Kabisa.
Yani kuna shoot unataka kutrade. So utoi shoot documentary ya watu kutrade ama itakuwaje. And are they even correlated? You get? Because like you really need to develop that. I also believe in that. And also
focus.
If you're even learning another skill or learning a different thing, at the same time you must come back down to agree that to be exceptional you may be exceptional really at one thing. Kama Ray Dalio si ati ni psychologist mzuri sana.
Psychologist. Just the
best
trader.
Ana understand psychology pia vizuri.
Deeply.
Exactly. Jim Simons ni mathematician but ni trader. Like maths was the first thing, then trading came. Yani Dalio, exactly. Trading was the first thing, then psychology came. Some guy like Elon Musk, technology was the first thing, then things like space came. Like you need a starting point and then you can leverage on it. And again, I believe also for that leverage to work you need a lot of resources. So ndo upate you're doing like 3 or 4 things simultaneously. For example, let's say a trader, lazima iko imefika trading yako imefika a point whereby you have a team of traders. So there are many people who are handling different things for you. So where you are now, your job is mainly maybe to manage and delegate. Yeah. Because again, that's the goal. Ka goal yako pia ni stoi wacha kazi kila siku tunafanya. It's very hard to be
tricky.
Yeah, successful like big time. Because like now already, you see like for us, we already need to delegate some tasks to other people for you to focus more on other important tasks. That also is a point. Like you need to find a way to delegate tasks to someone. But I think the most important one for me, to your point, is, and I think that's one thing that I've told very many people, like the problem is not time. Wacha kusema sina time. Time iko. Sema sina energy na sina focus. Sababu hii time yako, seriously. After 4 hours of trading, hii imetosha for today.
I'm
done. Leo nimefanya hapa 4 hours deeply. But there are people who can work 8 hours deeply without interruption. Like I'm a trained mind yake. It's a matter of training, but it will take you. Hizo ndo vitu nakushow. Sasa unataka kuwork 8 hours lakini unataka kuanza na uko efficient kutoka siku ya kwanza. No. Your first 2 or 3 years maybe working long hours itakuwa very stressful, very challenging. But after that now it picks up. Your body picks up, your mind picks up. You have gotten a basic understanding of fields. Now it's easier for you to even navigate 2 parts.
True.
But the minute kwanza focus ndo naonanga watu wengi kwanza. Unajua sina time. I want time. Because like I remember I asked one of my friends, why did you stop coding? So he was doing coding. and he stopped coding, akaenda kuuza vitu zingine. So I was asking him, okay, why did you stop coding? He told me sikuwa na time. Hii busy yangu mpya ilikuwa inanikulia time sana. Nikamuuliza, okay, describe to me how you spend your day. Jamaa kuna time mingi sana. Si kidogo.
Reality yako na
mingi sana. Time hata kuna almost half a day. Because hakuna kitu yani, he never described to me a detailed schedule like I wake up, nikitoka kuamka naenda hapa, nikitoka hapa naenda hapa, nikitoka hapa naenda hapa, like ndio mtu akwambia ana time enyewe ana time like ni msesi idol. But if you really sit down, analyze yourself, first do away with what you don't think is necessary. Like maybe you're spending a lot of time on IG, on these things. Minimize your time kwanza, weka hiyo kando. I find some other things that you can do with that time. You'll discover that you have a lot of time. What you don't have is the focus and the energy. Because unajiambia acha nijidiscipline basi nisome 1 hour trading. 15th minute uko IG tena.
Choka.
Sielewi kwanza hii candlestick, acha kwanza nipitie huko IG kidogo ndakuja kesho. That's how humans we are. Like you have to really learn to manage your energy, and that's also, I think trading payment funza hivyo, like trading you need to manage your energy hivyo. You ukijua like I'm working on this for a long time, I'll have frustration, I'll have challenges, but in the long run I need to like manage my energy in the right way, or in the proper way for me to succeed. And then you have the right discipline to follow it, because again also I think also stages matter. There are different things that come into the law of aimlessness na focus, because ultimately I believe pia ufai kuwa aimless. Once umekuwa aimless kwanza una goal,
of course,
yeah, and it's very hard for you to attain anything meaningful without that. Because even a big part of companies, you hear they say, hey, tuliona hii product isaidii na tuwestia tu time. Like the way we cancelled the subscription, we saw that we were not doing it in a very good way. It was not making a lot of economical sense from a value perspective, and we decided to do away with it and focus on other things, right? So, and finally, on his point, a big part of focus is saying no.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's one thing you must learn to say.
No.
Like, let's do this. No. Twende out. No. No. That's a big part of focus. It's saying no to things. If you find yourself always saying yes to things, understand you're losing focus. Yep.
If you're always saying yes.
Yeah, if you're always saying, there comes a time when you realize the value of saying no to things. Like, let's take this direction. No. Let's take this path. No. So you must also come back to your own senses and discover that
it's your responsibility
to
be disciplined.
Exactly. And to say no to things.
And to keep focus.
Yep. Because no one will manage for you some things.
Mi kuja kwangu kale ujui like focus yangu ni nini. Kuja niambia kuna hii form tuishie, wewe ujui what I was working on. So it's my own responsibility to be focused.
Exactly. Because mse mwingine by the way ajui hata vitu na wake, hata ajui goal yako kwanza. Wewe unapasi goal lingine huko jamaa hata nataka tu form the goal sasa.
And I think we've mentioned a very good point. Hata Vantap kuna usema your stuff, taking responsibility of your own trades. And your life, unaona?
So he says if you don't take responsibility, you're limiting your choices.
So and that also boils down to independent thinking. Like there's no way nitaenda kwa paps nimwambie check it trade fit check kwanza hapo nisha break rule number 1 sijakuwa independent,
take responsibility.
That's confirmation.
Nimeenda kutafuta confirmation afu sasa ikifail sasa naambia paps so unaona sasa vitu yako inaye sasa hapo ndo nimetupia hiyo jamaa responsibility hiyo trade mbaya na so inafaa for any trade you take like the ultimate responsibility, the outcome of the trade is all up to you.
Yep.
Wewe sema trade unjua nilikuwa nimepewa na Ken, most likely ikiwa good utasema I trade ni fit, I did good.
Hautasema ni Ken tena.
Afu ikiwa loser
Ken amesaulika.
Unasema hizo signals za Ken they never work. Exactly. So like it all boils down to taking responsibility of your life, yourself, and in also in any part of life too. The moment unaanza kutupia watu wengine ngori yako, like it's your own mistakes, and you don't want to accept them, You don't want to like be responsible for, let's say if you make a mistake, most likely kutakuwa na consequence.
Yep.
Okay, other consequences ziko for both mistakes and
choices have consequences.
Yeah, choices have consequences. So for every choice you make in life, jonga kuna consequence. Na hiyo consequence you have to be responsible for it.
Yep.
So if it's losing money, jonga me lose it for my own mistakes. If you miss an opportunity, let's say in life, it's because you are not prepared very well to take up that opportunity. It came, but uli slack. No. So it's all boiling down to making it about yourself. You see, like life iko hivyo manze. Most likely the person on the other side ajali sana about you. So it's all about you to make your life work. So like hata ikifail aje siwezi sema kina Caleb Ken alikuanga hivi. And that's where like if you look at most people who fail and break up in business, most likely atasema ni ule mse mwingine.
Hata sema ati mimi nilifail.
Sema ati unajua tulikuwa na shida like as a company there was this problem.
Hatuko tuna agree.
Atasema unajua Ken kila wakati aliwanga tu anafanyanga hivi. Caleb aliwanga so disagreeable. Wanatupatia na unasema unaweza jisema ati mimi personally mimi siko na agreeing na wase. Atasema ni wase wako na agree na mimi. So yani kutake responsibility imekuwa ni ngumu hiyo stuff kwa life pia. Kutake responsibility of your own failures. Sasa watu penda kutake responsibility of successes tu peke yake. Good things tu kitu kifanyika kwanza nataka hadi radio ikuje msikie. Lakini a bad thing happens hata ongelee hiyo story.
Because in terms of saying no, I remember my friends, the guys tulianza high school pamoja ni nini. Ndo alikuwa sawa form.
Exactly.
But they looked for me, mimi na wahepa na dodge sahani hapo. I'm not saying sasa zingine sikuwa tunasema ati no, but you look for a smart way of saying no. Ama do reply like you just ignore. So they look for you at enough point,
they give up.
They just stop because now you're focused and you don't feel bad. Me don't feel bad. You don't call me. Ni mjibamba.
After 2-3 calls that wanakusahau wengi wanasema
hata tukimuita
I think that was us in 2017 hapo trading like we were doing it in a solitude way kwa in our houses, like we lost a lot of tracks with our friends. So it's normal to,
it's part of life.
If you want to keep focus, you'll have to dump some people and carry some people to your bus.
And also focus less is more, I think. On the subject of focus, less is more.
Exactly. Sasa tulikuwa tunasema bro, hasa hiyo kitu tunacheki like focus, hata una focus na vitu kama 3 tu bro, usiku na vitu 10 bana.
Focus less is more manze. Less is more. And I think that comes back down even from, I think nimelaniona na trading, because also if you're trading you realize that the less the setup some trading, the better. The less the market some trading, the better. The less the position size I'm taking, the better. Any seriously,
let's take high risks. We'll take high risks next one.
Less is always so you need to find a way to incorporate that in your life. Ukiona kwanza, and that's why I'm even surprised by people who like pursue. This is out of topic. Pursue.
We like pursue. Yeah. Like men who pursue many women at a go same time.
Your stuff kuna energy bro, kuna when mzee like hata hizi stories una keep up budget. Una keep up easy stories. But anyway, I think ultimately how you spend your energy and your time comes back down to you. So when do you decide to how you're going to do your things, and if you're going to be exceptional or good at them. Yep.
So my last point, this is my last point. Your ideas or my ideas are not always right.
Yeah.
So stress test your ideas. Share it with someone who you trust, someone who can be open to you. Then like Dalio says, have a radical way of getting through it. If you can argument, muelewe like that. And cause like in trading, like what it was you again who was saying, student amekam class ona muonyesha lakini hataki yeye kwa nile yake
like adapt.
It's so hard for people to do
ego.
That. Like I think it's human nature.
Ego iko juu man.
You're so attached to your opinions, you're so attached to your ideas that
be open, someone to correct you, add something on, like for example, and this is even a good example, you see this Taras, the one I kept you the other day, this group we have, this one where we write your thoughts,
Oh, yeah.
then each of us can, like on Notion. So it's just something we created. We, I think 4 of us, plus shout out to Whitney. So we have Whitney on it. So to go on here, we just write topics, different thoughts that I have, and then all of us can come and comment. So just to share one, this is what Ken wrote, yeah? On discipline is freedom, which is what you talked about, discipline.
Yeah.
So this is what Ken had to say. Why is discipline freedom? So you asked a question. Think of the following people. Person A works 14 hours. It's just what you've been talking about. Person A works for 14 hours a day efficiently.
Yeah.
He is disciplined enough to ensure that each day is spent on something meaningful and productive. Person B works 14 hours, same amount of time, yeah?
Yeah.
Una time. Person B works 14 hours a week. Inconsistently, a day, inconsistently. He has no way of measuring his productivity, has no schedule, and doesn't care much about progress. Instead, he's obsessed with movement.
Yeah.
After 5 years, person A will have attained mastery, but B will fail. And they took the same time, yeah?
Yeah.
The main difference is the level of discipline. It's not motivation that rewards success. Instead, focus on discipline. The same way two people will portray the same behavior in all life situations. Carl Jung said, fate leads the willing and drags the unwilling.
Yeah.
He meant that it's impossible for us to ignore some life outcomes as long as we don't change our behaviors. Adopt discipline and you will become truly free. Learn discipline and you have achieved success. So that's what Ken had to say about discipline. And also May came and commented on it. So seek his thoughts. I like that quote you mentioned. So this how it's just stress testing your thoughts. Yeah? So I like the quote you just mentioned. It's not motivation that rewards success. Instead, focus on discipline by Ken. I also like what Jordan Peterson said. Discipline is self-imposed slavery.
Yeah.
Okay, I believe he did not mean this as a negative statement. Okay, so it's not slavery at the negative, but rather that one should one that should enlighten us that we are on the way or another trapped to slavery in a form of a way. Okay, we're trapped to it, but in a good way. So you're disciplined to follow it, but it's a good thing. Being disciplined enough to do the right thing that ought to be done when it needs to be done, no matter the opposing circumstances, is indeed a good thing. My question to you, philosopher, so we call Ken the philosopher. My question to you, philosopher, is this. Can discipline also lead us down the wrong path? And instead of leading it to freedom, can it lead to bondage of regret? So just questions asking, I'm stress testing Ken to think more about what he's saying. He'll show me something that I hadn't seen. I'll show him something that I hadn't seen. If Taras comes with something, stress test. Okay, your system is making money. Go, how can we improve this? What's the risk reward? What's the challenging thing that we can try and do away with and make it much more efficient? Stress test it, Apple. But you also need a team.
Yeah.
A good team. Unajua kuna wengine pia ukiwapelekea some things pia it's the same way we say about mentors. You can have a mentor who's not even meant for you. Mentor na kumenta lakini
kumenta kwanza
kitufai hata kuelewi the way you are as a person, so that he can mentor you and mentor someone else different. You get differently. But anyway, my point was just to finish off by saying stress test your ideas. Your ideas are not always right.
Yep. So I think finally I can also say my last point, I think, is the most important one. I've talked about 4 points. So the last one that I'll say is trading has taught me the value of self-awareness. And I think most people are not conscious. I included. Like, I'm not saying I'm very, very conscious. But I think ultimately if that's not your goal as a human, I don't know what else you're striving or working towards. Because in the middle of success, in the middle of money, with no consciousness comes very, very, very bad things. Like, that's where failure starts. That's where, like, yes, you have money, but you don't have success. You don't have well-being. I think for me, I've learned consciousness is the beginning of well-being. And one reason I've noticed many people don't become conscious is there's no consciousness without pain. At some point you have to accept the pain. You have to like go through some things, be ashamed of them. Maybe you did some things in the past you're ashamed of. Like you need to embrace that pain. You can't run away from it. And once you go through that pain, now you can become conscious. But now, because you're humans, and the nature of being human is to avoid pain, to avoid as much as possible going through such things, then you tend to also avoid being conscious. So I think recently, that's one of the things that I've really, really observed. Like I've been asking myself, Ken, are you as conscious as you think you are? Because also there's a difference between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. I believe being conscious is being conscious in your subconscious mind, not in your conscious mind. I don't know. It's
like what we were talking yesterday.
Exactly. For me, the goal is to be conscious unconsciously. Like how you behave, how you conduct yourself. Exactly. Like you even know the things you're not aware of. So I think ultimately, for me as a trader, trading has taught me that.
I think you said the goal is to be consciously unconscious.
Yeah. Unconsciously conscious. Yeah.
It's to be unconsciously conscious. Yeah.
So I need to venye najiconduct, venye na behave, venye nafanya vitu yangu. Like
subconsciously uko tu
niko conscious mbaya.
Exactly.
So ultimately I think we should all spend some time, some effort, some energy every day on a single basis to try to make ourselves more conscious. I don't think bad things like everything we've talked about comes from being unconscious. Like you're not conscious.
Yeah, true.
That's when you find yourself taking 5 projects, 6 projects
at the same time.
That's when you find yourself taking 10 direct parts. That's when you find yourself looking for hata ujui unataka nini life yako. Insatiability. Like you're just everywhere and nowhere. So be conscious, man. Be conscious. Look for ways you can be conscious, man.
That's what Seneca says. To be everywhere is to be nowhere.
Exactly. Like just find a way to order your mind in a proper way. And a big part of ordering your mind and focusing your mind is being conscious. So find a way to challenge your unconscious beliefs.
Challenge it.
There are many ways. I'm also learning. So maybe some other time, if we continue doing the podcasts after 5-6 years, finally I'm here. I'm a conscious being.
I'm
wakuje class. So I think those are some of the things that trading has really, really shown me are valuable. And I think if you look at successful traders, ni hard upate jamaa ajielewi.
True.
Traders when wame succeed wanajielewa mbaya. Kujielewa ile si kidogo. If you watch just how someone is behaving, ukiona kama Buffett ile time ya .com, alisema vitu ya .com sijui.
Yani Buffett.
Oh, okay. And he never invested even a penny on any technology company. And those things were doubling every single day. And Buffett had the capability of even saying, chanike 100 million hata kipotea niko na pesa. Because he had enough money by then. So hata angeluza 100 million ingekuwa a big setback. But your consciousness, you could decide, I'm not going to just do something for the sake of doing it. It's not many people who attain that level of consciousness. So work on that also as a goal. Be conscious. And once that happens, I think many things happen to you. Like even the people around you can change easily. Because wase unconscious wapendi kuchill sana na mtu conscious. You kind of no longer attract such people. You attract conscious people. So find a way to be conscious. I think that's my parting shot.
Cool.
Yeah.
For me, I think lastly, okay, of course we have many other lessons we've learned, but we can't compress them into 2 hours.
Yeah.
So for me, I think this all comes from Ray Dalio, and it's the value of making meaningful friendships and meaningful relationships.
Yeah.
And that has boiled down to us as a team and us meeting our other...
Isn't that the same thing?
Meaning?
You said friendships and relationships.
Yeah.
Okay.
Friendship and relationships are different.
Friendship ni ubeshte. Relationship ni mkewe. Baby.
Azi.
Usitupoteze hapa.
Relationship si dating. Inaweza kuwa business relationship size au sana unaona.
Friendship.
That's what I'm saying. Friendship is also a relationship.
Exactly.
So
Yes. It's the same thing. Like it's the foundation of the relationship. So exactly, it's like having meaningful friendships and relationships. So that boils down to like in as much as trading is very, very individualistic, it gets to a point where you'll need someone.
Yeah.
You can have a good system, but you're only managing 1 million shillings.
Yeah.
And this system with even 1 billion shillings, I'll do good.
Yeah.
You see?
Mm-hmm.
So now that comes to scaling up.
Yeah.
You'll need to have very, very good friends who have a good understanding also of that sector.
Yeah.
And I think even before I get to that point, this comes down from us as a team. Like, if we had not formed that a meaningful framework of how we will handle our friendship and our business, most likely atungekuwa hapa. Unaona?
Yeah.
That's why most people try start out a business. A month later, wameachana.
True.
Also, the fact that for us also meeting Gitosh, you see, it opened a lot of avenues for us to improve ourselves, our business. That's how we got funding program, you see.
Yeah.
So like the fact that you're trading, most likely if you do it alone also, you won't leverage on it.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Leverage on your skill.
Yeah.
And that will boil down to leveraging on people.
Yeah.
So
from even different fields.
Yeah, exactly. From even different fields. So I think it's very, very important to form solid friendships. Like not being so emotional about some things. You see, like and I think this I've noticed from a lot of businesses from my friends. Like just one failure, the business is down.
Wameenda wote.
Wote wameenda.
Wamekimbia.
Like
ilikuwa fault ya huyu kwanza.
Sasa you're like,
I've noticed that with girls a lot also.
Your
blame game.
Yeah, blame game.
Ndo alituangusha.
Yeah, taking responsibility, like so
I get, yeah.
Also, like trading, most times you'll notice that you've learned a lot of nuggets from other traders.
Yeah.
Like you've learned from Daidalio, you've learned from Jesse Livermore. Even if it's reading something, like you really formed a relationship with this person ya umjui.
Yeah.
We can say you have a relationship with Dalio, lakini wewe hujui naye ajui.
Yani ni best yangu mbaya.
Best yako mbaya.
Hadi na msikingi na unajua hapo ungefanya aje?
Exactly. So like
I get
have meaningful relationships to people you seek ideas from, you work with, you make partnerships with. Also like and man, like you shouldn't just form partnerships easily like unaingia tu into this like msa ametokea na hii form ushaingia nani like you're just all over
and still says that if you start a company that it rarely works.
Who says?
Yeah, exactly.
The foundations are critical. Yeah, so
yeah,
imagine kama tungepata na ukitrade mimi hata sikujui unijui alafu tuacha tuanze financial lab, it's very hard. At least there was that background of knowing each other. You can spend some time alafu sasa you can move now to the next thing. Yep.
I think that's valuable, like understanding that you'll also need to leverage on people,
and you'll need people around you.
Yeah, you'll need people around you to especially on capital. Upper capital, you're trading, you only need like 10 ultra high net worth people and life yako change.
Yeah.
Wasai tu 10 wanakupea 200 million each.
Kuna a billion
shillings. Life yako imechange.
Yep.
Bro, kama ungeform good connections,
good relationships,
ungekuwa msana kwa unajua huyu jamaa ako na roho mbaya. So like be a good person generally in life. Be humble. Kwanza yote nimesema to be humble by the way, because markets humble people. So always be humble. Like don't it's grandiosity. Even if you're a good trader, don't always feel like you're the best trader in the world. The next worst trade inaweza kuwa tu the one you press next. So,
the next trade.
Yeah. So like being humble, understanding that everyone has his own path in life. Not bringing other people down because of maybe your successes. Because of trading, I think trading is very, like the whole industry has a lot of negative spots, a lot, from how it's been marketed, from how it's been approached by new people, you see. So like like someone to I was talking to a friend of mine. She was in States back in 2008. So I tell her I was a trader. So for them, those people who were in campus that time, they believe on the Wall Street in the worst place on earth. yani huko ndo wase uskamiwa. Sasa ukishomse bana wewe ni trader anashanga how are you in that like your field tu kwanza iko na a lot of bad blood with some people. Msalis kama una bani madof bro hadai kusikia trading ni kitu gani hiyo. So the fact that like let's just try and make good, like be good in the business also. Like be a good person in business, be a good trader, share your nuggets. For me, if you come to the office for 30 minutes to 1 hour, I'll talk to you about my trading. But for me to now focus, sit down with you, you have to pay me. So yeah, but I'll always share my nuggets. We always have the Zoom sessions. We have this podcast where we share our ideas. So like just be good generally in life, and life will reward you.
Things will fall into place.
Yeah.
So just to finish off what Raras was saying, friendship, Seneca says, true friendship is not that one that is worth living for, but the one worth dying for.
Yeah.
So
worth dying for.
You don't tell someone I can live for you. I live because of you. Die because of that person. But anyway, that's just out of topic. But
can you develop such a friendship without any meaning? No.
Umeenda raka tu.
Raja kupenda ya kufikiria.
No. Kila mekataa. At create what?
A friendship worth dying for without having a meaningful thing.
No, yeah, it can't
work. So just like life, you can't die for something which you don't find meaning in. Yep. So that's the first thing. Find meaning, find meaningful friends, then you can die for them. But immediately mjana beshte yako akata tu.
And just a question, yeah.
I
was talking to a friend the other day. She knows herself. I don't know if she'll be watching. Is your life worth dying for someone else?
Yeah.
God Jesus.
You think of yourself. As in you can die for someone else.
Yeah, you can take a bullet for someone. But it depends on the context. Unajua pia tunasema tu. Sasa kuna
exactly. Kuna pia context.
Unajua context.
In reality, tukeka reality hapo.
But anyway, I think by nature humans are selfish.
Yeah.
That's true. Like we're all selfish to some point. But once you develop yourself to the level whereby very few humans now can do that. I'm not sure if I'm one of them. But maybe I'm buying that idea.
Which idea?
That I can.
Okay.
I think I'm that loyal.
Ngumu. Life. Yele tu hadi usacha nimrukie tu. Let go. But yeah, I get you.
But at the same
what do you think, Taras?
Caleb,
Ngumu.
I think if you I'm reading a book called The Denial of Death.
Yeah.
So the context of the book is basically about how humans we've denied the aspect that we are mortal. Like we'll die at some point. So
deny.
Yeah, we deny unconsciously uko accept.
Umedeny ama ujui
lakini
umedeny. Unajua kwanza utakufa lakini unadeny.
Mimi sasa naweza deny bro.
Bro umedeny.
Deny aje?
So deny bro. Taras tena.
Unconsciously bro. Kwanza kama ungekuwa una deny death. Check kama ungekuwa deny death.
Sikuelewi ras.
Bro ungekuwa conscious mbaya.
Lakini unakushua ni like najua tu ndakufa siku moja nimekataa hiyo kitu. I know I'll die one day.
Listen. Unajua bro kuna ile kukataa hivyo vinyo unasema hiyo ni consciously. Sasa hiyo ni hiyo yenye unayapie. But nakusha huko kwa mind yako huko ndani huko. Sasa unconsciously.
Ara unconsciously. Mimi najua ndadedi bro.
Lawi.
Kwa nani bro? Hiyo ni fact bro. Hiyo ni fact.
Sasa because you ngoja.
The moment you're born,
let me ask you a question.
There's only one surety.
Let me ask you a question. Because you're I've not said you're not aware you'll die. You're saying you're aware.
Yes.
Many things people are aware but they deny. There's a difference between being aware about something.
Understand that? Say to not deny, I know I will not die.
I will deny.
Say it hivyo. No, I will not die. Deny. Unacheki? Accept your facts. Sasa udeny. Unge live accordingly.
Yani bro, kama na mimi nakushona na kujua. Kama ungekuwa umeaccept death bro, au make
exactly, that's what I'm saying. You live accordingly.
Yani bro ungekuwa ukilive in a very different way. Trust me. God, even the things you pay. But anyway, the basic idea of the book, hata tulikuwa tunaongelea nini? Uja hata
denial of death.
Before you.
What I asked.
Yeah.
Taking a bullet for someone.
Taking a bullet.
So for someone who's accepted death, like accepted atakufa, anajua life is finite, there is a beginning, there is an end, and apparently the end is something that you don't know, and it could come from anywhere. So one who has accepted that to some point even can do more meaningful things than someone who's not accepted that.
Of course.
You get? And one of the meaningful things that someone who's gotten to that point of accepting death is the decision making. So one of the things that utafind ni umse choose meaning over anything. So the reason awezi decide acha kwanza nisikufie hii jamaa iju kwanza hata uangalia hata meaning, cuz uangalia hata okay you're taking this sacrifice for what purpose. You get like okay, if the story of Christianity is true, like if it's true Jesus died for our sins, that was something meaningful. Sindo?
Of course, yeah.
Ilikuwa kitu meaningful, like asa mfanya dhambi but nda dead for them. He chose meaning.
Why do we still sin?
That's a good question.
Why do we still sin? Jesus dying doesn't mean we'll stop sinning.
Sasa msemgani tunakufa.
Ati Allah, let me tell you. You remember the story I told you my dad told me about Jesus dying? You remember that story?
Wait, I don't know about the further things. I was just explaining the point of
Taras, atakatoa kufe.
See, like the next Jehovah, as I'm saying that
So
kufia
you
the next
Caleb.
one.
Si Jehovah is one. Tazao kwe wengi.
Sasa si Yesu arudi tunakufa tena.
Are you asking me what?
Because sin iko
I didn't
hapo. So like
yeah.
hiyo mission yake bado like ni kama haku achieve ku eliminate sin.
Go like
Understanding
eliminate
status.
sin.
Ilikuwa unajua mimi sijangi Biblia hata
Okay,
nifunze.
You are going to ask something before we go to that.
I was asking you. So for you now, do you think you would?
Me? Yeah, I might think I would, man.
And also may
But
think
same-
one thing that will make me do that is because I know ultimately I'll die. Why not die for something meaningful?
Yeah, if it's meaningful.
Like
Context.
ultimately nda dead, ndagongwa na gari, ndakuwa mgonjwa, cancer cells zitamutate. Haka kuna kitu tu meaningful inaweza fanya kwanza yenye mtu ainsahau. Kama Mandela hivyo venye alikaa onda unaweza kaa prison 27 years kama
He was forced. So nani angefunguliwa mlango angebaki hapo.
hata kama
He was
alikuwa
forced.
forced, kuna lazima he had like other options of like if it's jamaa alikuwa anasema if it's not freedom, if it's not the freedom of my country.
Who?
Mandela.
I don't know.
Itabidi niwatolee hiyo makuota. Jamaa alikuwa anasema huku prison sina shida, ndakaa tu kama they accept South Africa huku blacks ndo na rule. Mimi nakaa huku ndani stoki. Jamaa kichwa ngumu bana. Unadhani mama huko alikuwa anaambiwa ati cheki tunaweza kuachilia uende. Alikuwa ameamua we can die for this country.
True.
Kwanza kama una hiyo kitu ya kufia hata una meaning kwanza. Yaani mtu bure.
What's dying
Mtu
for?
bure. Look for something worth
What's
dying
dying
for.
for?
They're not living for.
Living for.
Yeah. Meaningful
Anyway.
things.
We'll talk about Jesus story some other time. This is a trader.
Lakini ungetushow your story. Hebu tuambie.
Yeah, I was explaining to us. Remember that nice story I told you my dad taught me of sin? Let me explain sin. Yeah. So there's these two brothers.
Who and who?
Don't remember their names, but I can give them a name.
I
Peter
think
and
I
Paul.
remembered the story.
Remember?
But, okay, now I don't remember
Identical
the details.
brothers. Peter and Paul. Did I tell you that story? Listen. Peter and Paul. Okay. Peter and Paul, nice brothers. But Paul is a good guy. And I live holy, ako fiti. Hafanyi vitu mbaya.
I'm say conscious. Yani.
Then there's Peter. Peter, drugs, women, alcohol.
Lakini hivyo ni kuishi vibaya.
Hey, it's relative. Jamaa anajibamba mbaya.
No, wait.
Lazima tukae chini.
From a Christianity point of view.
Listen.
Hey, we're listening. You're right.
This guy just leaving.
Sema hivi. Sema wanaua watu.
Those ones. I was getting there. Sawa kukunywa sasa. Sisemi ni mbaya.
Wewe usiharibu bana.
Aya, okay, that's a good okay, whatever. Umse analive a bad life. Okay, ana watu anaiba. Hizo ni mbaya, si ndio? Ndio unasema ni nzuri.
Hizo at least unajua unachukulia jamaa.
Exactly.
Lakini kukunywa bana hiyo decision yako.
This guy Peter one day go out. Paul amemwambia bro, change the way you're living, live correctly. hivyo. Peter amekata ameendelea kuko anaiba kona do, you get. Anyway, one day Peter akashika ameua msee kwa club. Peter alichukua kasta gnu piga msomi pigana, the guy has blood all over him.
Sanitize.
Megwa moto.
Sanitize.
Listen to the story. So this guy one day now he's killed someone. Everyone has seen. See, now everyone is seeing. Now this guy, cops are coming for him. So now Peter runs to Paul. Hey, Paul, yeah. I've killed someone. He has blood all over him. Paul anamwambia, Peter, I told you to change kitambo, now look where it's brought you. Okay? But now Paul told Peter, you know what? Your shirt umevaa, give it to me. So Paul took his shirt out, gave it to Peter. Remember, cops are coming. Peter akapatia Paul his shirt, so they've exchanged. So the identical brothers. Amevaa the shirt. Now it's full of blood. Cops arrive. Who do they capture? Paul is taken. You're guilty ni nini? He went akukata. It's him. Paul was sentenced to death. Okay? So Paul died. But that action, because Paul knew, okay, now he believes in the spiritual realm. If Peter is killed now, where he's going to go, he will suffer for eternity. He will struggle. But Paul knows, even if I die now, I've lived a meaningful, right life. I'll go to heaven. So Paul died. If he did go to heaven, he went. Now that action Paul took made Peter change his ways for the rest of his life. Peter will say, Yani, my brother died for me. Took that sacrifice because he knew where he's going. From then on, Peter changed. Peter kakua.
Skiza wisdom. Clothed in wisdom.
Clothed in wisdom. So from then on, so that's the same action God took. I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, the problem exactly. The problem is hatuja change sisi. Sisi ndio Peter. No, Peter hatuja change. Sasa sisi ndio Peter. Hatuja Peter hatuja change.
Paul.
Sasa lakini Paul ashaenda, lakini sasa unaona in your story Peter changed, si ndio? In reality Peter hatuja change. Peter hatuja change in reality. Na sisi hapa sasa. Unaona, yeye ndio kwa story yako. Hadi jamaa aliona, kwani sisi hatujui Yesu alikufa kwa dhambi zetu.
He died.
Bado nenda niibe kwa nini?
Lakini hoja believe.
Listen. Peter changed.
Hata wa Christians wame believe bro, bado wanafanya vitu mbaya.
Taras, not everyone will change. Not everyone to tend evil heaven.
Bas, but kuna wanaenda, si ndio?
Kuna wataenda. Kuna mapiters.
Kuna Peter.
Si kila mtu atachange.
Lakini goal ilikuwa wewe. Sasa mimi nasaidia nani basi?
Itabidi ngoje. Kama Peter alikuwa.
Nilikuwa nasema cheki.
Unaona kama Peter alikuwa anaenda before change.
Huko ndio kwake.
Ndio ngoja huko.
Ndio nasema bana. If Jesus was to save us all, no, inafaa rudi mara ya pili tena basi. That change tena bro.
Alafu in future arudie wale wengine tena.
Arudie tena wengine.
Kufa. Na wewe.
Lakini ni Christian mythology. Ni
story. Yesu alikufa almost 2000 years ago. Hadi sasa hiyo tumesahau hiyo emotion detachment. Hadi tumedichat. Wengine wamekuwa maetheist. Hadi Yesu hakuwa huyo. Anyway, Christianity topics kwingine.
That's it for today, guys.
Rastafari.
He's imperial.
But anyway,
he's given us his wisdom.
I think there was a lesson lakini kwa hiyo story yako. I think tumeget hiyo lesson. But Rasu uko bado kuna
mimi yangu njemi uko yani tu facts bado. Kwa ground yani vitu civil leader.
We'll bring a Christian leader.
Mzee wako ananiambia.
Amini vitu hujaona. Una believe in rationality.
I mean I believe bana. Vile dunia bado ni ngori. Kwanza inakuwa worse.
Lakini sasa bro, unajua rationality pia kuna vitu mingi inakuwa worse explain. Reason.
Explain everything.
Reason.
Pale tulitoka.
Reason is explain kila kitu. Once you understand hiyo pia utahumble kidogo. Your brain is limited pia to some point,
like at least unakubali kuna vitu zingine siwezi kubali, lakini unazipea doubts like
ni poa kudoubt vitu, si poa kubelieve kila
unajiacha of course unajiacha on the outside.
But sasa pia unaona ukifikiria ukidoubt sana umefikiria mpaka unaona hii doubt yangu yenyewe kwa siwezi kuelewa.
One thing pia I mean like
I don't believe
some things also
Sasa yenyewe kama hii theory ya Jesus. Kama kama hujaona Jesus, utaapprove aje?
No, like sure. Without believing, my life has changed so much.
Yo si uongo. Yo ni kweli.
Bila mimi kuji-involve in that thinking so much, life yangu has changed so much.
Sasa ndo maana
nianza kujistress kila siku tu ati. Aje stress na huyu Yesu alikufa kwa nini? Sasa Caleb
get anointed by that takuombea uko na jani
ndio mbali.
But anyway, doubts to poor question bana, question. Hata mimi I don't believe it. Obviously to I believe.
Lazima uulize maswali bana.
Ask questions, man. Anyway, guys, we end it there.
Ultimately, I think the most important thing is if any conclusion yangu sasa msiongee tena.
Huko tunaweza ongea.
Ultimately ni if you're a Christian, the question you should be asking yourself is, did you change like Peter?
Did you?
Exactly.
Did you change like Peter? Kwanza uja change.
Yeah, man, wachana na
hata hiyo vitu weke tu kando kwanza. But if you've accepted your story, ukoona yenyewe hapa yenyewe kuna jamaa alitukufia.
Unajua leo kufia tu bro, wako break the 10 commandments. Si zingine mingi. Kuiba. Kuonea dem mwingine, kutamani bibi wa mtu mwingine, vitu kama hizo yani bro. Tayari kwanza kama unajua wewe ni Christian, wewe ni huyo Peter, unajua bado unatamani bibi ya mtu. Tupilia mbali baada ya Yesu bana.
Tupilia mbali ya Yesu na bibi ya mwingine kwanza mbali. Si bibi mwingine kwanza yake kazi. Wewe. Sawa.
Anyway,
that's it for
today. We've shared some nuggets on how trading has shaped our lives, what we believe in. You know, tuko na beliefs hapa different. I told you I'm a contrarian, na karibu fight na Caleb hapa hivi.
Close in wisdom.
Yeah, but he has some wise thoughts. He's a wise man. I hope you've learned a few things from I think it's 2 hours, right? Yeah, I think 2 hours, Dagi, right? Yeah, 2 hour talk.
Leo imekuwa moto.
So
leo hadi Peter akakaa huko.
And still this is just a snippet of how we are in the office, how we handle our own ideas. We brainstorm a lot. So if you want to hang out with us, we are at Jaquad Towers 17th floor. You can come always book a call prior, let's say a day before, and we'll be happy to sit with you for an hour or two. We see how you approach markets, your ideas about markets. We really like sharing our ideas with other people, seeing how people are different from us, because also it's not good to be so glued into your own psychological framework of thinking. So it's good to always see other strategies from other people, how people are managing risk, their lessons in from trading in real life also. So until the next episode, I hope you enjoy this one. It will be uploaded soon. So cheers, guys.
Have a good one. Peace.